Good day. It's Tuesday, May the 4th. I'm Martin Gagel with Radius Research. Today we are joined by Corey Jason, CEO of MustGrow, and Colin Bletsky, COO. MustGrow is a biotech company focused on providing natural, science-based biological solutions for the agricultural industry. Corey and Colin, thanks for joining us today. Please take it away. Let's hear the pitch.
Well, thanks, Martin, and good afternoon, everyone. My name's Corey Jason. I'm President and CEO of MustGrow. This presentation is an investor update from our last investor update that we gave at the beginning of the year. If there's anybody new to MustGrow, we hope to give a good overview of the company during this presentation, but there's more information about our company and about our team at our website at mustgrow.ca, and we'll get started here. So before we begin, I'd like to draw your attention to our forward-looking statement disclaimer, indicating that this presentation has forward-looking statements. This disclaimer, again, can be read on our website at mustgrow.ca. About our company, we're an ag biotech company based in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and we have a natural organic technology platform that is highly efficacious in controlling microbial diseases, insect pests, and weeds. It is truly a sustainable technology that has great potential to be disruptive for the $65 billion global ag pesticide market. What we have is two extracts from the mustard seed: AITC, allyl isothiocyanate, which is provides the disease and insect control, the insect pest control, and then the most recent extract, which we extracted this past winter, was ionic thiocyanate, which has the herbicide or weed control. Most of our work has been done in and around AITC, and we've shown that AITC has positive soil health and environmental impact. Our goal is that to utilize AITC to replace banned synthetic chemicals, and we've completed over 110 independent studies in and around this active ingredient that shows that it is very efficacious at controlling these diseases and insect pests relative to synthetic chemicals. And some of these studies were field trials that went head-to-head with chemicals such as methyl bromide, and we've shown that our efficacy was just as high as methyl bromide at controlling those diseases and pests and taking crop to yield, and that, which is very important. We own 100% of the patents around this technology for AITC and the thiocyanate, and it truly is a technology platform with potential applications in many markets, whether that be on the pre-plant soil treatment of diseases and pests before a farmer grows a crop, or on the post-harvest food preservation side. Most recently, we announced field trial collaborations with Nexus Bioag on Canadian canola and pulses, and that is our first partnership that we've announced, and we're looking forward to working with Nexus here this spring to do field trials for clubroot in canola and Phenomyces affecting pulse crops, and those are two major crops here in Western Canada, two very important crops, and close to Colin and my heart, being farm boys from Western Canada here in Saskatchewan. This is all with a tight capital structure, 43 million shares outstanding, 19% of which is owned by management and advisors. We're about 50 million fully diluted, and we're fortunate to be sitting on $3.6 million of cash, which is enough capital on hand for us to get Terra MG registered with the EPA as a pre-plant soil biofumigant for diseases and pests affecting, high-value crops such as fruit and vegetables in the U.S., and for us to get to initial production of potentially several million liters of product per year through toll manufacturing. So what's driving these natural products, these natural biopesticides? Well, again, it all comes down to agriculture and food. Regulatory agencies, they're restricting or banning existing synthetic chemicals, which is leaving limited alternatives for a growing population that needs to be fed. Consumers' tastes are changing. They want our safe, healthy, natural, sustainable food supply. And producers, they want to protect their crop. They need to grow a crop. And the biologics that they've been using over the last 10 years have not met performance expectations. Ag chem companies, they're seeing the writing on the wall, and they're investing in sustainable natural technologies to replace the chemicals that have been banned or complement existing synthetic chemicals so that they can decrease the load per acre of these chemicals and make a lot more sustainable products that are being provided to the market. And it all comes down to sustainable farming practices, sustainable about growing a crop today, but also in future generations, because the finite amount of arable land is fixed or decreasing. And that's the #1 asset that farmers have. And so they need to protect that land so that they can continue to grow a crop for future generations. So what's MustGrow doing is that we're providing this natural organic technology platform that's based on food grade mustard. It has the efficacy of synthetic chemicals, and we're looking to help farmers grow a crop by treating the soil before they grow that crop, and also on the food preservation side for when that crop is in storage so that it doesn't spoil and go to waste. About the positive soil health and environmental impact, AITC, allylisylthiocyanate, has a positive soil health and environmental impact. We've shown that through our work. And there's been independent third-party researchers out there that have done work on AITC that have also shown that. The benefit is that it dissipates from the soil quickly. It has about a very short half-life of about 24 hours. It means that it does its work, it's toxic for those 24 hours, and then it dissipates. And then it allows the beneficial microorganisms to build back up into the soil, which is very important for the soil microbiome and also for the crop yields. In addition, it has a positive environmental impact given that it has a low water solubility, meaning it will not end up in runoff and into the watershed. So 2 very important things with our product. Again, natural organic product based on food grade mustard that has a positive soil health and environmental impact, which is very important for farmers and the environment.
Thanks, Corey. So when we look at our pipeline, we're very proud of where we've taken this and accelerated the projects and taken them to the next level in almost every single one of these cases. And I'll go through this line by line so everybody gets a good context of what's ongoing and where we're working. So if you look at the pre-plant soil ballot fumigant area, specifically looking at fruit and vegetables, tobacco, into potatoes, turf and ornamentals, we are still progressing along the lines of going through the EPA registration process in the US and working through that. Also in this area, we have seen a lot of data come in from third-party companies working with our products in field. We did announce a little bit of this data specifically around how our product actually performed as well and very similar to chlorpicrin in tobacco trials. But there are other data sets going on that are providing a good indication that our technology is doing what we said, and that's working and competing head to head versus synthetic chemicals. And that's something that we're very proud of. The next line in bananas, we continue to do work and progress through to the field trial stage in this area. And when you look at Colombia and the impact of the issue of Fusarium wilt TR4, it is still continuing to grow. And there's been a lot of reports that now TR4 has been found in Chile. There's still acceleration of this disease in other parts of the world. If you look at the impact that TR4 has had on the Philippine banana industry, it's been very significant. So we continue to do work, and we had some very good data come off out of our first trial, which we announced last year. We had a second study with a second laboratory group working through the Colombian government protocols and had very good results as well. We're now progressing down that stage of testing. And that testing will be done over the next little while, looking at not only remediating the soil, but also looking at how can we impact the actual plantations and potentially have an impact on the current bananas that are also there. So we're progressing that, and hopefully by sometime in 2021, we will be able to put out and assess that data as well. The next 2 areas, as Corey mentioned, around Aphanomyces and clubroot and canola and pulse crops, this is an area which is of a significant importance in Western Canada, and we are looking at this with now Nexus BioAg, and it's extremely important. Even though we're looking at this as more of a field development and trial program, it's extremely important to know just because of how Nexus acts and their strength in these marketplaces. And I'll go through that in another slide so you have an understanding. But we did get some additional data, not only in canola, but in pulse crops, showing how our technology works on a rate different scale, rate titration scale as a preventative, as well as also looking at it on the eradication side. So we're very excited about how that's moving forward. Corey mentioned our bioherbicide, so looking at thiocyanate. Thiocyanate is a great molecule, and we look at all the data that comes out of the University of Idaho, with whom we have a partnership with in these areas. And thiocyanate has a lot of activity when it comes to weeds. we were able to extract this and purify that molecule. And we were taking it to lab and greenhouse to really validate it, understand the efficacy, but not only look at that, but look at ways of how we can improve that formulation. And this being an earlier stage technology for us, we still have to prove through a lot of those different aspects, specifically around the process optimization and looking at that formulation. So we're accelerating that and really doing a lot of work in that area. The next stage of our portfolio is all around the food preservation and storage area. Last year, we announced our technology and the platform. We were able to secure the patents with the University of Idaho on potato storage and sprout control. We are doing additional work with the University of Idaho currently, looking at our technology on that sprout area. And if you look at it, the CICP, the chemical molecule that was used for sprout control, was banned last year. There are no other real solutions for these growers. And we are hearing a number of different challenges, specifically in the UK and Europe, when it comes to storage and control. So this is an area that we are accelerating as fast as we can with the university and working through that data now. And we hope to have some of that initial data here within the next quarter or so to really understand how our technology is working in these areas and how we can accelerate it. And the last three areas, mycotoxins, disease, and even into foodborne pathogens, these are areas have been talking and assessing with different partners. And we are going to be starting some work in some of these areas, not tackling them all, but tackling key areas that are impacting different areas in different markets. And that work will be ongoing over the next little while as well. So overall, when we look at our pipeline, we believe we've had a tremendous amount of progress going forward, and we will continue to do so and hit the high points and target markets that we're going after. Corey? So when you look at it, Nexus BioAg, and what does this mean? When you look at the canola and pulse markets in Western Canada, they're critical for farmers and the cash flow of Western Canadian farmers. If you look at all the investment now coming in on canola crushing plants not in Saskatchewan, but even in other parts of the world, you think of the importance of these areas. Clubroot continues to expand, Aphanomyces continues to expand. And I'll give you a little story. I had one grower reach out to me and was saying that if you look at it, pulse crops would actually accelerate in acreage in Western Canada if Aphanomyces was not here. Canola crops would continue to get accelerated because of the price points, but clubroot's a major issue. We're very proud of what we're doing with Nexus BioAg. Nexus is an extremely strong organization with good technical skills, great salespeople, great position in both the pulse and canola markets. Being able to work with them on really accelerating a technology and markets which we thought a year ago were just blue sky. Now we're actually taking it to the marketplace and really driving this into field and looking at how we can get in. And the biggest thing to look at is these are all program type products. We need to have our technology. It has a great fit and a great opportunity in these markets, but we need to work with the right partners to help us accelerate it, because we're not a one silver bullet product. It's a great product, but it has to be put into a great integrated pest management strategy with growers. And that's where Nexus can help us really accelerate this with growers, with the provincial bodies. So looking at the Canola Growers Association, the Pulse Growers Associations, and even looking into some of the government organizations to help us potentially get a fast track. Nexus brings a lot of opportunity for us. So we're very excited to look at working with them and how we can accelerate our technologies through their system. Corey? And then when you look at it around the EPA registration, we continue to move on this, and we still are leveraging our technology. And I would say this is one area where maybe we're still hopeful in 2021 that we will accelerate and achieve our registration process. But with COVID and other areas, it's been one area that has been, I would say, a little bit delayed. But we have accelerated and did more things in this marketplace. Like I said, we got additional data coming in from third parties showing that we are working in field as we said. We've also reached out and worked with a third-party research group to really help us understand this marketplace. And this market is actually a little bit larger than what we first initially thought. The conventional acres in the US and the amount of money that gets put in is roughly about that about 480 million on an annual basis. The area of initial opportunity for us is the buffer zones and organic acres. These are two areas that to date do not have any solutions that these growers can use. With our natural food grade technology, we now have an opportunity to potentially leverage into these markets and essentially, hopefully, accelerate sales into those areas, as well as starting to complement the chemistries. The other key area that, just that we really learned, and I learned, was a lot of the synthetic chemicals that are used to date in this marketplace are limited to how many actual pounds or liters that they can use on an annual basis in certain states and different areas, different counties. So it gives us a tremendous amount of opportunity to help look at replacing or even complementing a lot of those chemistries in these specific markets. So getting the data that we're driving today, working with the third parties that we're working with, it's an area that we really want to expand and are expanding with the field data that we have today.
So our work plan for 2021, field trials. As you've seen in the technology pipeline, we are starting field trials, Colin mentioned, with Nexus Bioag on the canola and the pulse crops. Here in Canada, field trials starting with bananas. In South America, we're looking to produce about 2 million liters of product here right now, formulate actually 2 million liters of product for field trials that are going to be coming up here for 2021. Formulation optimization. Again, if we can find ways for enhancements or cost reductions on our existing formulation of AITC and thiocyanate, we're currently looking into that here right now as well, and we think that could create great value for our shareholders. On the regulatory side, we continue to do the regulatory work with Terra MG and the EPA, and also assess regulatory work on multiple other regions in that. If we have success in the field, say on clubroot with canola or Phenomyces with pulse crops, we'll be looking to potentially fast track regulatory application for those particular crops for use here, for our product use here in Canada. Same with bananas in Colombia. Again, with positive results in the field, if the opportunity is for fast tracking regulatory, we'll be looking at doing that. On the post-harvest application, we have set some money aside for doing the potato sprouting and disease work, doing the initial testing there. And again, as Colin mentioned, in Europe, CIPC was a chemical that was used for potato sprouting in Europe. They had about $60 million US of sales per year of that particular product. And again, that was banned this past October. European potato producers have limited options for potato sprouting. And if we can provide a natural organic technology for that, with success of our trial work, we'll be looking to do that, get that into the market. And assessing further potential partnerships across the spectrum of our technology pipeline. Our objective is to get these technologies commercialized and into the market as quickly as possible. And Nexus, with the canola field trials and pulse crop field trials, that's our initial one. But there's other areas here that we're going to be assessing to get as much market penetration as quickly as possible. That's something that we're going to be looking at doing going forward across the whole spectrum. And we are currently assessing toll manufacturing, which would secure initial production for us. Once we do have a product registered, we will not need to spend capital on a plant to produce several million liters of product per year. We've identified a couple different toll manufacturers, and that's really significant because that means that our tight capital structure will remain going forward. And you can see that highlighted on this slide, 50 million shares fully diluted. For us to get to initial production, we don't foresee having to do a capital raise. The $3.6 million of cash that we currently have on hand would be enough capital on hand for us to get our initial registration complete with the EPA on the fruit and veggies we're anticipating, and to get to initial production of several million liters of product per year, which is quite significant and exciting. So we're looking forward to 2001, and I'll stop the share and look forward to any questions.
Corey and Colin, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us. Cheers.
Thanks, Martin.
Thanks, Martin.